In the Oyo-Ile Palace, where brass sculptures drank candlelight and royal bangles weighed more than a farmer's yearly harvest, the youngest son of the Golden King, Onye Oji, was known for two things: the silence that followed him like a shadow, and the way he watched, always watched. His brothers called him Awo, the secret. The court said he had no ambition, no sting. They were wrong. On the eve of his coronation, forced upon him after his father's sudden wasting sickness and his brother's mutual poisoning, Onye Oji removed his coral beads, his Abeti Aja cap, and his ivory anklets. He smeared his skin with palm oil and ash. He walked barefoot through the refuse gate, past guards playing Ayo with stolen cowries, and into the belly of the city. Makoko, the floating slum. He expected hunger. He expected filth. He did not expect the merchant at Oja Oba market to spit on him and say, "Your mother sold spoilt yams, Alagbede." He did not expect the palace guards, his guards, to crack a cudgel across his ribs when he asked for water outside the palace walls. "Move, Ologbon," they sneered. "The king's son doesn't drink from your mouth." No one knew him. No one saw past the rags. For 3 moons, Onye Oji swept a butcher's stall for scraps. He learned that justice in the kingdom was a thing you bought: a goat for the bail to hear your case, a chicken for the scribe to write your name, a daughter for the chief to look the other way. He watched a pregnant woman dragged to the debtor's hole because her husband died owing 2 lengths of lace. He watched a crippled boy burned as a witch because his landlord wanted his plot of land. A kindness came from a blind beggar who shared half a roasted plantain. Cruelty came from everyone else. Then came the morning of the Igba Ewa, the public judgment. A fisherman named Adebayo stood in chains before the Ari owner, the war chief. Accused of stealing a sacred drum from the palace shrine. The evidence, a single footprint near the mud wall. The punishment, death by elephant trampling. Adebayo's wife screamed. He was fishing at Badagry that day. The crowd whispered, but did not move. The owner smiled, gold caps on his teeth, and raised his ceremonial staff. Let this be a lesson. The throne's property is sacred. That was when Onye Oji stepped forward, still in torn shorts, still smelling of fish smoke and gutter water. He walked into the clearing and said quietly, "The footprint faces east. So the palace shrine door opens west. Only someone exiting the shrine leaves an eastward print. Your thief was running out, but the drum was found inside the next morning." Laughter. A guard grabbed his arm. Then Onye Oji turned to the Araona and spoke the words only the royal bloodline knew. The secret name of the sacred drum, Ayanaganlu, the drum that hears the dead. And the curse that followed its theft. Whoever touches it without the Oba's breath will find their firstborn's eyes turn white by the next moon. The Ara owner's gold-capped smile froze, because his firstborn daughter had woken blind that very morning. Silence fell like a headman's blade. The guards loosened their grip. The crowd stepped back, and Onye Oji, still in rags, still with dirt under his nails, said, "You are all wondering who I am. But the question is, who are you?" He did not call for the crown. Not yet. Instead, he walked to Adebayo, cut his ropes with a fish knife, and handed him the executioner's own staff. "A king who has never starved," Onye Oji said, turning to face the assembly, "does not know the weight of a single grain. My father's palace is built on your hunger. My brothers' graves are filled with your taxes. And this man," pointing at the trembling Ariona, "sold the sacred drum himself to Portuguese traders last month. Ask him where the gold went." The reckoning did not come with an army. It came with a whisper that spread from the fish market to the palace kitchens. Awo has returned, and he is not wearing beads. Within a week, the Araona fled. Within a month, 3 corrupt chiefs drank the same poison they had fed to peasants. And Prince Onye Oji, now Oba Onye Oji the Unseen, issued his first decree. No judgment without the accused's right to speak, no tax without a public count, and no man so high that he could not be brought low by the truth of a barefoot witness. They asked him why he had not simply taken the throne by force. He smiled, for the first time, and said, "Force gives you a palace. Suffering gives you a people. I wanted both. And that is why, to this day, the elders of Oyo Ile tell their children, 'Do not fear the prince who wears coral. Fear the one who has slept on your floor. Fear Onye Oji.'"